Reish Ches and learn the Kitzur. So we refresh ourselves in what we learned last a few nights ago. We explained, according to the second interpretation brought from the Medrash, that the Ruach HaMoshel that Shlomo Melech quotes in Koheles, it refers to authority, memshola, governing, dominion. The Yikshe, and we asked, the Vadaim, the Misha Nitin le memshola, surely someone who has been given by God memshola, who tzaddik u bal Torah. He's a tzaddik and a bal Torah. And if so, ve'eich shayach by inyan achet, how is it possible for him to have sin that the verse says, Zechariah, that umar peloi chatoim gedolim, it's a healing from great sin. How does sin come to someone with a tzaddik or bal Torah? That was his question. V'yataritz. And the previous Rebbe, by the way, the Kitzur are also from the previous Rebbe, David. These are not just sometimes you see clearly, Aviv, in the Kitzurim, words that you didn't see in the text. So, you just know that the synopsis, the Kitzur that the Frierdiker Rebbe himself wrote, are very important to read, because there will be times your eyes will pop out and say, we didn't learn that in the previous paragraph, and precisely so. So the Rebbe is adding something in the Kitzur for whatever reason that wasn't said in the text in the paragraph, but he adds it in the synopsis. So what does he say? V'yataretz, and we answered, the marpei loshen rifyon. Marpei also is associated with the word rifyon, to make loose and soft and easy. V'yevayer al yedehu anova. And we explained that through modesty that the leader, the tzaddik ubal Torah, will have in his life, he won't be caught in the sin of the generation. He won't be blamed, and he won't have that sin be as though he did it. Kahod Moshe v'Aaron, just like Moshe and Aaron, shehoye b'pchines ma v'nachnu ma. The verse says they were totally ma. Ma, what does it mean? Ma? What does ma mean? What? What are you? I can't tell you what you are. What? So they were the level of v'nachnu ma. That's how great their bittul was. And what about Yehoshua? The Yeshua Nikri Mesharis Moshe. Yeshua is called the servant of Moshe. Bittul Ho'atzmi, the Talmud L'Rabbi. Look how Zechariah, how he describes in a few words, Shaya, how he describes Yeshua. He says, a quote, he's Mesharis Moshe. That's the definition of Yeshua. The aid, the assistant to Moshe. And in Hasidic terminology, it's bittul ho'atzmi, is the annulment of his essence, like as a Talmud l'Rabbi, as a student to a teacher. You know what that means? That a student to a teacher, a real Talmud to a rabbi, is someone who creates within himself bittul atzmi. It's a heavy load. You're a student, I'm a student. You listen, you learn, you pick up. To say you need bittul atzmi was saying, yes, if you want to be a Mesharis Moshe, if you want to be a servant and aid of Moshe, and that the Torah should call you, who are you? You're not David Levi, you're Mesharis Moshe. Like you don't have a name. You lose your name and you're called Mesharis Moshe. When I look at you, I say, like Label Groner, right? He's not Label Groner, he's the Rebbe's secretary, he's the Rebbe's aide, he's the Rebbe's assistant. You identify him with his position. So when is that accomplished? When you, the student, the aide, the Mesharis, is truly bottled, truly annulled to the Moshe with a quality of bittul. It's called bittul ho'atzmi. Okay, let's go further. Going deeper. Second part of the verse in Koheles. That healing alleviates great sins. Yuvin B'Peter Shabbos will understand it in the second way of explaining the him hayois the marpe losher rifyoin. In other words, until now, we've used the first interpretation of marpe as from the term rifyoin, loose, easy, to explain the context. Now the Rebbe says we can also understand it in a deeper way. He says, "Ba'emek yoser," by looking at the word marpe miloshin refuah, the loshin of refuah, of healing, and he explains. Upirish ki marpe the godel. I'm missing here. Hold on, page Reshit Ches. I'll get it in a second. Okay. Says. Upirish ki marpe the godel hadoyer oiser refuah lirfois chatoyim gedoyel mishal hadoyer. Tell me if I'm right, Aviv. My understanding is like this. According to the first interpretation, the Gadol Adoyer is not blamed for the sins of the generation. Here he seems to be saying, Ki marpe the Gadol Adoyer oiser refuah lirpoi sachatoim gedolim shel Adoyer. Right? Okay. Zachariah, I want to make sure you understand. Here he's saying that according to the second interpretation, not only does the leader, is he not blamed for the sin, he actually causes healing to the sinners. Right? Maybe just turn that down, please. The generation that they do averos, they do sins, chatoim gedolim, great sins. So what we're saying is that the leader, he causes marpe, he causes healing to their sins. Ki marpe, the Gadol Hadoyer oiser refuah, he accomplishes, he creates healing, lirpos, to heal hachatoyim gedolim shel hadoyer, the great sins of the generation.
Through review?
We'll see. Wait. Okay, we haven't yet said how, but the structure, he's giving us the structure, he's laying out the ground rules. Let's see how. Your question and thought is going to be addressed over here, I believe. The hine midas ha'anova humidarkei atshuva. The midas ha'anova, as the Rambam, the attribute of humility